Well, to another holiday season starting up. I am not drinking alcohol today because it's just about noon right now and I do have a nicer day planned ahead of me. But I am back for week 2 of Welcoming 35. This is the series where I'm just talking through what is going on in my life. What the literal is 35. It is quite an engagement and change of life and scenery, getting into my mid-30s, really hitting that milestone of saying, let's see what things have changed, what things are staying the same. But really, I'm just here to talk about some stuff in life that I'm noticing, that I'm seeing, that I'm enjoying, that I'm hating. And today, we've got a little bit of a lineup. I'm going to start with holiday traditions. Now, like a good Christian family, State Farm is there. No, I'm just kidding. Like a good Christian family, we do celebrate Christmas in this household. It's interesting, though, celebrating Christmas that we want to be white, snowy, cold, whimsical, wintry in South Florida. It is quite a conundrum of my mind trying to displace and get familiar with being in South Florida where it's just freaking hot all year round. Today, the mid is like 78. So it's not exactly walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a warm wonderland is more like it. It is funny, though, being in South Florida. This is the time of year that everyone down here is wearing jeans. And not because it's cold, but that's the best we can do. We're wearing jeans and t-shirts and flip-flops because we want to wear pants. It's that time of year. That's all the good products you can buy right now is great pants, sweatpants, joggers, jeans, slacks. People call them slacks anymore? Pleated pants, maybe? But down in South Florida, we do everything we can to make it feel like Christmas. One of the most interesting experiences was last year, being my first year in South Florida, buying a Christmas tree. Where I grew up, we would be going through a farm, probably out in Pennsylvania somewhere, or up in the sticks in New Jersey, North Jersey, maybe even into New York State, where we can get a real fresh cut tree. We would go pick it out. We would sometimes have our own saw, and it was an ordeal. I don't know if anybody else from the Northeast really understands this or anybody that has gone and cut their own trees before, but it is an ordeal. Everyone's got to weigh in. Oh, I like the top of this one. Well, it's got 2 spires. We can't do the top with 2 little things coming out the top, or it doesn't really bell out quite as wide as we want, or we might say the branches themselves just aren't strong enough, or it's got a dead spot in the back. Should we put that by the window? The rest of the tree is really nice. The experience of buying a tree here in South Florida is completely different. You have 3 options. And this is really where I want to get into the meat and potatoes of a lot of what I want to talk about today. This was the first year my wife and I did agree that because of the way our financial situation is, maybe we do a fake tree. We explored the fake trees. We found one we thought was a decent price, had the look that we liked, and we bought it. We said, I guess we're going to be a fake tree family. At least we have it for when we want to use a fake tree. Now, looking at the way some of these fake trees are built, they are quite amazing. But the nature lover in me was asking, but what kind of tree is this? Because it would have the long, thin needles like some pine trees have, but then it would have the really spiky, spiny ones, almost like a spruce would have. If you know, you know. You completely understand what I'm talking about. But it had those mixed together. It was a little bit odd. So then going to a place where we bought this fake tree, I brought it home, we set it up, and I was immediately sad. There was something disingenuous and inauthentic about having a fake tree. If you're a family who does a fake tree, my father-in-law does it, and that is okay. It really doesn't bother me. But the important thing was, this was a lesson in me learning that fake trees really are not for me. So that's option 1, is you go buy a fake tree. Option number 2 is you pay through the nose to go get this whole South Florida experience of, we're at the North Pole. We've got flocked trees, which is where they put fake snow on it. You can go do that, get this whole experience, And that's going to cost you about the same as an inexpensive or low-end fake tree. And they were cut like a month and a half ago to get them shipped down to South Florida. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a process. What a process. That's what we did last year. Last year's Christmas tree shopping, we did not shop around, we did not look, we did not go to different places. All we did was we went to the North Pole and bought this beautiful tree. It was a nice tree, let's be real. But it did die at the end of the season, which a real tree will do. That's just what's going to happen. So we went from option number 2 to option number 3. I do have to pause for a second though. A similarity that options 2 and 3 have is that you really cannot tell what the tree looks like without it being opened up. They're all already wrapped in the netting. Generally, it's orange or white for whatever reason. I don't know why they only make it in those 2 colors. But we went and we bought a tree from Home Depot. Now, before you beat me up for it, here's the thing. The smallest trees they had were $50. We got a tree just above that, and I'll tell you what, it's a really nice tree. It fits our space really well. We needed to find something that was, instead of belling out, it was a little bit more narrow because we didn't want to block the entire living room. We needed some space for us to actually have a living room still. When you live in a 1-bedroom apartment that's less than 1,000 square feet, you really can't do a massive tree. Now, there are some benefits to having a small tree. I don't have to spend as long putting the lights in that thing. That was one of the nice things about the fake tree, was it already had the lights built in, so I didn't have to do that. There is something, though, for this time of year that I really do think you need to, as much as you can, give the authentic season authentic pieces. The thing with a fake tree is there's no maintenance to it, there's no upkeep, there's no building into it, there's no care for a living thing. When you have a real tree, you do have to an extent, care for this living thing that's in your house. It is going to go out on to the stoop once the season's over, but we really do want to have it for as long as possible, just to let the season carry on. And I think there is something to the need to have a genuine holiday experience. If that genuine holiday experience for you is having a fake tree, completely go for it. It is something for my wife and I that we really decided that we can't be at this place where buying a tree is this big ordeal. We want to make sure that we get to enjoy the holiday season for what it is. So make the time to put those things into practice. And all of that truly is just an encouragement for you guys that are listening. I really want this to be a time for me to share a lot of my heart and my thoughts as I'm growing older, into my mid-30s now. What a big life change, right? But this is really all to encourage. This is not to critique. This is not to bring people down. None of my character really is about that. I want to see all ships rise. And truly, encouragement is so much better than critique. One of the guys that is in one of my church groups right now, he and I are working out about 2 to 3 times a week together, lifting weights. We're just over the street on the gym. And he is and has been so encouraging for me to actually put forth more effort and energy into putting things like this together. That's really building me up. One of my groomsmen who's been, you know who you are. One of my groomsmen who's been just an advocate for me being and giving an online presence is monumental. The amount of encouragement and the amount of just pouring into me to want to do this. My other friend, who's got a channel down here, you know who you are. He has been monumental in just telling me to just start and go for it and just do it and see how it goes. And you'll change and you'll adapt as it goes, but you have to start somewhere. And giving someone that level of encouragement to believe in themselves, tell them that they can do it, it leads to small steps that make huge change over time. The old phrase was, what? Rome wasn't built in a day. You weren't made in an afternoon. Nothing about who you are happened overnight. It's all gradual change. And I think while I was out with some friends last night that were in town, the husband and I, we were talking so much about the importance of consistency and making sure that you just carry through and continue to work on the same thing over and over again. That can be something as simple as making sure that you have water that you're drinking rather than just juice and soda and tea and all these sugary caloric drinks. Could also be just making sure that you do some sort of workout every day. That's been a huge thing for me recently. I give myself 6 days a week. I need to do some sort of workout. It doesn't matter exactly what it is, but just that I make something hard for myself, that I work difficultly and diligently at getting stronger and better at being the person that I am. There's a consistency even with doing these videos. I have not been the best at doing my short form content, but I am putting out new parameters into getting myself out into longer form content. So I'm putting out more and more videos like this because it is something I enjoy. I want to be able to share it. And one of the last things when it comes to consistency that I'll get into more in the next video is ice baths. This is something that I had been wanting to do for a long time, and I am analysis paralysis for the most part when it comes to decision making. So I was trying to find the right bath, I was trying to get the right setup, I was trying to do this, that, and the other thing, and then, happy birthday me, my wife decided to get me a cold plunge. It's a cold pod. So, and I'll put the link down in the description so you can check it out. She got me a cold pod. I think it's a great option if you want to start doing it. But there is really a struggle to getting the temperature that is needed down in South Florida. So I will walk you guys through that a little bit in my next video. That's part of the reason I'm dressed the way I am right now. I finished that up maybe an hour ago. But it's really about the consistency, continuing to do it and push through whatever it is that's difficult so that you can grow and be the better person that you're hoping to be. For those of you that take any sort of encouragement or growth out of conversation that I give you, I really hope that you do see that the life that you have now should not be the end-all be-all. We are meant to grow and develop and change over time more and more into an ideal self. That means that we have to continue to put in effort. We need to continue to put in the work because nothing is really handed to us on a silver platter. We need to go out. We need to work on it. And that's the only way to get it done. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for just a few minutes so that we can share and talk about the importance of a real tree and an authentic Christmas. We can talk about the importance of encouraging one another and how it's way better than critique. Building people up is more important. Consistency is key. Continue to push for and towards the things that you're looking for in life. They're never going to be just handed to you. There has to be movement and action on your end. And I pray that you have a great week. And until next time, please continue to watch, continue to hang out with me, leave a comment, subscribe, like, share. I just want to spread good to the people that I have a chance to affect. So until next time, see you later.